Hi, I'm Steve Ferrell. Welcome to the 30-Day Meditation Challenge. If you're newer to this page, I'm going to suggest that you check the link in the description as a way to sign up for our newsletter so that you don't miss out on anything. Today's meditation technique is going to be one that I've sort of invented. I call it the clap, because we're going to be clapping our hands, right? Not for any other reason. And so the way that we'll set up this technique is like any other, by finding a comfortable position. My suggestion with this one is seated, however, that it might be a little bit more difficult to clap the hands in a lying position, that we might have to keep our arms a little bit more energetic. So again, the recommendation is to sit instead of lie down for this particular technique, but is it okay if you need to lie down? Absolutely, it's okay. Right? So finding that comfortable position, and knowing that it's also okay if in seated you need to lean against the wall for comfort. The invitation, as always, to softly close the eyes. We'll take 2 breaths on purpose. Just really using that breath to bring more attention into the body and into sensation. Right? Maybe one more for good measure. And then just beginning to feel the breath moving naturally, easily in the body. And we'll start to bring the hands out in front. The upper arms rested at your sides, the elbows at your sides. Again, the hands are out in front, separated from one another, so that the palms of the hands are facing towards one another, almost as though you're holding onto a beach ball. In a moment, I'm going to count to 3 and ask you to clap your hands together. And when you clap, a couple things about the clap. One is that I would prefer not to have a golf-style clap, like a really light one. That we want to clap loud enough so that we begin to feel some sensation happening in the hands. So we might say, sometimes in class, I'll ask people to imagine whatever it is that you're into. Right? Imagine that you just saw the best person in the world do that thing. And so for me, I love to drum. And so I imagine that I just saw Danny Carey from Tool do a drum solo. And so I'm clapping like with that sort of force. And 2, not multiple claps, just one simple clap. So as the hands are out in front, again, counting to 3, I'll say clap. We'll clap our hands. 1, 2, 3, clap. And then allow the hands to separate. And then to feel the sensation of the hands. And to really draw your attention towards that sensation post-clap. One, 2, 3, clap. Separate the hands. And then again, feel the hands. One, 2, 3, clap. And as you feel for those sensations, noticing how they change through time. How the sensation of the hands, maybe a few seconds after the clap, is not the same as the hands directly after the clap. 1, 2, 3, clap. Feeling the hands. . 1, 2, 3, clap. For some of you, as you feel for those sensations, maybe noticing how the mind starts to put language on it, or descriptions of the sensation. Things like tingling or hot. 1, 2, 3, clap. And can we start to recognize that language or those descriptions as something pointing to the sensation, but that it's not the actual sensation? 1, 2, 3, clap. And so to the best of our ability, feeling the sensation of the thing. Trying not to get wrapped up in the way that we describe the experience to ourselves. One, two, three, clap. One, two, three, clap. Some of you might begin to notice that instead of language, the mind wants to put an image of the hands. 1, 2, 3, clap. Just know that the image, although pointing to the sensation, is not the sensation. One, two, three, clap. And it's not as though we're trying to push away the language or to push away the images. We're just doing our best to stay with the sensation in the foreground. One, two, three, clap. One, two, three, clap. For some of you, also noticing perhaps the mind trying to anticipate when the next clap will come. One, two, three, clap. And then one more time. One, two, three, clap. And as you feel the hands, take the hands palms face down on the thighs. If you're in seated, or onto the floor if you're in lying, or the belly if you're in lying. Feel how one sensation makes contact with another sensation. Also maybe noticing that as the sensation of the hands post-clap meets another sensation like the thighs or the belly or the floor, how the mind might even have a difficult time describing that particular sensation or mix of sensations. And take a breath in and a breath out. A breath in and a breath out. And taking any movement that seems necessary in time, opening the eyes, coming back into the space that you're in, feeling this body, noticing this moment. Okay. I hope that you've enjoyed this technique, the clap. Know that if you teach it to groups, it'll usually get some sort of laughter. Right? What I really love about this particular technique is not only is it a way to bring ourselves really actively back into the body, maybe not forcefully back into the body, but actively back into the body, right? That it does that. I almost hearken it to almost like those ideas of old Buddhist or Zen monks that would see the monks sitting and falling asleep in meditation practice, and then they would kind of whack them with a stick to wake them up again. Not that it would be that malicious, but same kind of idea. But then from a secondary perspective, also beginning to use this technique as a way to recognize how, as we have experiences, the mind tends to label or describe the experiences, and how the description, whether language-based or a visual basis, like the image of the hands, how those things are pointing toward the sensation or the experience, but that they're not really the experience. Right? That we can start to make a distinguishment between the two of what is the experience that I'm having, like the sensation of the hands post-clap, and what are the kind of things that the mind wants to layer on top of that, what kind of descriptors. Right? I hope you enjoy this technique, the clap. Right? We'll finish by hands at heart center, bowing head towards heart, and one bow.